Hi, I'm Mayor David Black, and this is City Happenings. The beginning of the school year also means outdoor ed. Our police department lends its expertise to the local school district. Papillion hosted the Chautauqua this summer. We get follow-up comments from a Humanities Nebraska representative. Papio Bay is a great city venue, and the lifeguard staff is top flight.
Thanks, Mayor Black. It's time for outdoor ed. Not only is it a great learning tool for local sixth graders, it also shows the great cooperative effort between the local schools and the city's police department.
Every year at Outdoor Ed you get a new crowd, and while kids are kids at that age, you always run into some unique situations with the kids, and it's just fun to watch the different groups try to problem solve when we put them on some of those activities at the trust course. Each classroom you ever work in has a unique personality of its own, and then when you take them out there and divide them into groups of 12 or 15, then they develop another personality, and you get to watch those groups and see who the leaders are, who steps up and says, here's how we're going to overcome this obstacle. And you always have one or two or three kids that will step up and take that role, and then as things progress, you'll see some other kids go, well, hey, I can lead this group too, and then all of a sudden they become a leader as well. Each group's different, and most of the time you'll get that one or two kids that just immediately say, hey, let's try this. And it may not always be the best solution to the problem they're trying to overcome, but it opens the door for others to go, wait a minute, I think we should try this. But there's usually that one or two that'll immediately start saying, let's try this. And whether they're right or wrong, the best way to do it, at least they start the conversation.
Papillion hosted Humanities Nebraska Chautauqua for the first time this past summer. Both the event and the city came out winners.
When we were trying to decide who were going to be the voices that tell these stories, we all have connections, like I said before, to the Homestead Act, the Railway Act, the Morrill Act, those sorts of things. But who's going to be the people that tell that? And I think we do have an excellent lineup. They all tell little bits and pieces of the story. Each of them have a little bit different perspective. Somebody like George Washington Carver, you know of him perhaps as far as his later successes in life, but you didn't maybe realize that he was a homesteader in Kansas for a time. He went to the first land-grant college, Iowa State, or what became Iowa State. And so he's somebody who benefits from a lot of these opportunities that are available. Chief Standing Bear is going to tell you a different story. What happens to those that were already here? Grenville Dodge is going to talk a lot about the building of the railroad, what kinds of elements were at play there. Laura Ingalls Wilder and Willa Cather are going to certainly talk about what inspired them to write the great books that we have of theirs today. And so they're just a great cross-section. We think that certainly there are other voices out there, but we found that these were going to capture a lot of the theme that we wanted. Well, Papillion is, as you say, a great community, and certainly we wanted to get into this part of the state. We hadn't been here for a while. We brought our 1930s Chautauqua to Plattsmouth, which was about as close as we've been to this area. But certainly the cooperation from the city, the cooperation from the different groups here in town has just been amazing, and that's what we really look for in a Chautauqua community, is one where we can perhaps be an opportunity for different groups to get together, to work together, and hopefully, even when the tent comes down, those relationships are already there, and that discussion is still there as far as the content. So, Papillion's been a great host for us, and we're really excited.
Papio Bay is closed for the season, and the Aquatic Center director praised the lifeguard staff.
Lifeguards are able to do the job that they need to do by training. They work very hard when they're not in the public's eyes, working on their skills and making sure they're up to date with all their training, and then that's how they're able to come to the job and be the best that they can be. Training's scheduled for every week, so they know it's already in their schedule. They're prepared for it. And there's different components that they work on. We actually work on a fitness component, make sure everybody's in shape. Then we have a skills component, so they work on things very specific like backboarding or rescues off of certain chairs. You have to exit off the chair a certain way while being safe, because you obviously don't want the guard to get hurt, because then they're unable to help the person in the water. So we work on, things like that and training specific to Papio Bay. They do have the rescue tube to help them out. There is no diving in anymore. That can be considered dangerous. There's certain jumps, we call them the compact jump and the stride jump, and it's a little bit safer for the guard to use. You need to have that sense of urgency while you're keeping calm yourself. If you start to get panicked as a rescuer, you can transfer that to the victim, to the bystanders, and so it's very important to keep calm while still having that sense of urgency. We hire the best of the best, I'd like to think. We work a lot with them, do a lot of training to get them up there to superior quality, and I would match my guards up to anybody in the state any day. Lifeguarding as a career is growing, not only in year-round pools, but seasonal pools as well. And I think we're getting some really quality kids into the profession of a lifeguard.
With summer a recent memory, the city thanks everyone for taking advantage of everything offered to its residents and their guests. Whether it's one of the many events, or using our parks, trail systems, or even supporting our businesses, Papillion thrives because of you. Thank you from everyone at City Hall. There are lots of ways to stay up to date with what's happening in Papillion. You can find us on Facebook, follow the City of Papillion on Twitter, or even watch the YouTube channel. There's also the new City app. It's available from the Apple Store and the Android Marketplace. And of course, information about all of our departments and programs is available on our website. For more about Papillion, go to www.papillion.org or just call the Mayor's Hotline at 402-827-1111. Thanks for watching.